Jeff Bezos has always been the man of numbers, calculating, frugal, and disciplined. For decades, his life was dictated by efficiency and long-term vision. But when Lauren Sanchez entered his orbit, something shifted. A man once defined by his relentless practicality suddenly began spending on a scale even billionaires found shocking. The world had seen Bezos build Amazon into a trillion-dollar empire and Blue Origin into a challenger for the stars. Yet, few could have predicted the extravagance that followed his relationship with Sanchez. The story of Bezos's transformation is not simply about love. It's about the staggering wealth he poured into gifts so grand that they have reshaped his legacy. The beginning of excess. It started with whispers, extravagant presents, glamorous appearances, and an entirely new Jeff Bezos. Former Amazon employees described it as a personality transplant. Gone was the ultra-focused CEO obsessed with logistics and margins. In his place emerged a man smitten, public, and willing to spend billions just to prove his devotion. The climax of this transformation was revealed in 2023 when Bezos unveiled his $500 million superyacht, Kourou. At 420 feet long with 3 decks, a helipad, a spa, and even an underwater viewing room, it was less a boat and more a floating palace. Yet, what truly captured attention was not its sheer size, but its symbolism. At the bow stood a wooden sculpture of a woman with long flowing hair, an unmistakable homage to Lauren Sanchez. Such a bold, public declaration of affection was uncharacteristic for Bezos, who once shunned attention outside of business. But this was only the beginning. An island for love. In 2022, Bezos spent $78 million on a 350-acre Caribbean island near St. John. Until then, he had shown little interest in tropical real estate. His world revolved around innovation, not leisure. But for Sanchez, the island became a paradise. A 12-bedroom villa was constructed with panoramic ocean views. Rare tropical plants filled a meditation garden designed specifically for her love of yoga. The project cost more than $20 million to complete, turning the island into a sanctuary that reflected her tastes and passions. Love beyond the earth. For Bezos, the sky was never the limit. In one of his most extravagant gestures, he arranged a private space flight aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard, tailored exclusively for Sanchez. The cost? About $28 million. Every detail was customized, from the itinerary to the exclusive services on board, ensuring Lauren would see Earth from space in unparalleled luxury. For a man who had once guarded his space ambitions as pure business, it was a stunning example of how far personal affection had shaped his priorities. Jewels fit for royalty. As their engagement drew closer, Bezos commissioned Tiffany & Company to design a bespoke jewelry collection. At its heart was a 50-carat diamond necklace worth $8 million. The collection included rare pink diamond earrings and a wedding ring so unique it required nearly a year to create. The jewelry represented perfection, not just in craftsmanship, but in Bezos's need to prove that Lauren deserved nothing less than the rarest treasures on Earth. A mansion of dreams. In Beverly Hills, Bezos added another jewel to his empire, a $165 million mansion sprawling across 13 acres. The property featured 12 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, a home theater, a massive wine cellar, and an underground garage that housed 20 cars. Every corner reflected Lauren's influence. A grand library paid tribute to her passion for literature. A private spa, tennis courts, and even a miniature golf course were designed according to her wishes. It was not just a house, it was a monument to her presence in his life. The jet-set life. No billionaire love story would be complete without private jets. Bezos purchased a Gulfstream G700 worth $75 million, customized to the couple's needs. Inside, panoramic windows surrounded a private bedroom, a mini gym, and an office that allowed Bezos to manage business mid-flight. To ensure maximum comfort, a professional chef traveled with them, preparing Sanchez's favorite meals on every journey. The plane even included a state-of-the-art air filtration system, luxury fused with practicality. A studio for her vision. Knowing Sanchez's passion for media, Bezos purchased a $40 million film studio in Los Angeles. Equipped with cutting-edge technology, the studio was staffed with a 50-person team dedicated solely to her projects. Here, she could pursue her media ambitions, producing documentaries and films without financial or creative constraints. It wasn't just a gift, it was an empire built in her name. A billion-dollar foundation. Perhaps the most symbolic gesture came with the creation of the Lauren Sanchez Foundation, seeded with $2 billion. Focused on education and women's entrepreneurship in developing countries, it elevated Sanchez from a media figure to a global philanthropist. By giving her the means to shape the future, Bezos wasn't just gifting material wealth, he was gifting influence and legacy. An art collection like no other. For 2 years, Bezos curated an art collection worth more than $200 million for Sanchez. Works from Picasso, Monet, and Van Gogh filled her private gallery. He personally attended auctions, battling collectors to secure pieces. It was not about investment. It was about surrounding Lauren with timeless beauty, a reflection of how he viewed her place in his life. The wedding of the century. On June 27, 2025, Bezos and Sanchez married in Venice, Italy. The 3-day celebration on San Giorgio Maggiore Island cost an estimated $10 million. Lauren wore a custom Dolce & Gabbana gown inspired by Sophia Loren, hand-embroidered by a team of 12 artisans over 8 months. The guest list sparkled with global icons: Bill Gates, Leonardo DiCaprio, Oprah Winfrey, Kim Kardashian, and even royalty. Collectively, the attendees represented $435 billion in wealth. But not everyone celebrated. Protesters in Venice unfurled banners condemning the excess. Greenpeace mocked the event with a message: if you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more taxes. Despite criticism, the couple donated €2 million to Venice's lagoon research and UNESCO, a rare moment of restraint in their sea of luxury. A new Jeff Bezos. But behind the glamour lies a deeper story: the transformation of Jeff Bezos himself. Former colleagues admit he is no longer the same man. Once laser-focused on Amazon's future, he now divides his time between Blue Origin, personal projects, and Lauren's world. Amazon executives whisper about shifting corporate culture. Over 40 senior leaders have departed since his relationship began. His once private persona has been replaced by appearances at the Met Gala, Cannes, and high society parties. Even close friends like Bill Gates have distanced themselves. Bezos' own brother admitted, "My brother lives in a world I don't understand." The cost of love. Financial experts estimate Bezos has spent over $2.5 billion on Sanchez and their shared life. This includes gifts, lifestyle changes, and the ripple effects on Amazon stock and missed business opportunities. Yet, Bezos doesn't seem to care. At 61, he is experiencing what psychologists call an emotional renaissance. The technocrat has given way to a man more public, more generous, and more willing to live in the moment. Legacy in the making. Together, Bezos and Sanchez are building more than a love story. Their projects in philanthropy, space tourism, and media suggest they see themselves as global influencers, not just billionaires. From schools in Africa funded by their foundation to future plans for a lunar colony by 2035, the couple's ambitions are reshaping how wealth intersects with humanity's future. The final question. The world watches, fascinated and divided. Some see Bezos as a man reborn, finally embracing joy after decades of discipline. Others see him as distracted, indulgent, and dangerously out of touch. But one truth is undeniable. The Jeff Bezos of today is not the man who founded Amazon in his garage. That man is gone. In his place stands someone transformed by love, willing to spend billions not for business, but for the woman who changed his world. And perhaps that is the greatest gift of all.